Serious men of Reddit who have been raped by women. What's your story? I'm not capable of saying the story here. But just for awareness. My mother. While I was like 8 to 12. For my brother and I both, it was our stepdad from 7 to 12. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I know it's a hell of a thing to deal with as an adult. Happened when I was about 18 to 20. Still living with my parents. They were away for the weekend, so I was set for a weekend of wow and beer, yeah I know. On Friday evening, a woman who was renting an apartment from our neighbors that was about 40 sent a text asking what I was doing and wondered if I wanted to watch a movie. We had talked a few times when meeting outside when she rode past on her horse. So thought, why not? Could be nice with some company. She came over and brought some wine. As we watched the movie, I gradually got drunker, and every time I came back from the toilet my glass was refilled to the brim. After a while I got properly speep-faced. And all of a sudden we were naked in the tub. Can't remember if anything happened there. But next thing I remember, I am naked in my bed. With her sitting on the side. I remember saying, I think it's time for you to go home. But she put her hand under the blanket grabbing my dick saying, do I have to leave already? Then she got naked and got on top of me with me just kinda having an out-of-body experience or something. I hardly remember moving or feeling anything besides the room spinning. Afterwards she just gave me a kiss and left. Think I only realized that it was in fact quite rapey when I wrote it in a thread here on Reddit in some AskReddit thread a few years later. I came very close. At a New Year's party a long time ago. Got extremely hammered and passed out in a bathroom. This girl I'd never met before was offering to help me to the bed downstairs. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up to this girl trying to get me hard. I was so drunk. All I could do was sorta push her off, but she wouldn't stop. Eventually a friend of mine popped his head in and I yelled for him to help me. And he caught on pretty quick and cussed her out until she finally left. Are you my roommate? We had this same exact situation happen at one of our house parties. And that night I looked like an asshole because I was yelling at this girl to get the beep out. She was literally crying. People were getting mad at me. The next morning my roommate was like, nah dude. He asked her nicely like 3x and she kept telling him it was fine. Sounds like a good bro that got your back emotionally. You gotta tell us if he is your roommate though, like. I can't handle cliffhangers like that. Probably not. This is just a really common story. People just don't talk about it much. My girlfriend at the time decided she wanted to get pregnant regardless of my feelings on the subject. And stopped taking her birth control pills. This resulted in me not touching her for a few months. As I wasn't ready to have kids. One day I came home from work. Having worked 16-hour shifts for 2 weeks in a row. I just hit the shower and went straight to bed where I literally passed out. I woke an hour later with her straddling me. Mid-sexual activity. I said no, but she persisted. I then forcibly removed her from me. And slept in the living room. Suffice it to say, that relationship came to a halt quickly thereafter. Somehow a majority of the people I've told this think it's funny that I think I was raped. Because I'm a man and you can't get raped by your girlfriend. Very nearly the same thing happened to me. Girlfriend kept asking me to get her pregnant. She was 18. I was 20. And had no desire for children. I woke up to her one night riding me. I've told people about it and I've told them it's rape. But they say the same thing. Doesn't matter what parts you have. Someone engaging in any sexual activity you didn't consent to is rape. Full stop. It's good to see that society is starting to take it seriously. The fact that you switched these roles and people would be losing their minds, but because you were a man they say you're lying or it can't happen, is disgusting. I saw a video recently where a guy and his girlfriend wanted to see how people would react to a sexual assault on a man vs a woman, not a real one, just acting. The man had people ignore him and laugh at him, telling him he's crazy because she was attractive. Not one person helped. The exact moment he touched the girl and she said no, there were like 5 people Dragon Ball Z teleporting behind him to remove him from her presence. It's just disgusting double standards that because you're a man you should just deal with it. While a man could easily in most cases fight off a woman, who don't we all just take a guess at what would happen to a guy if he was just seen shoving or hitting a woman away? He would be ganged up on and nobody would believe him. Undefined. While a man could easily in most cases fight off a woman. Even still, there's plenty of situations where someone can be coerced, or drugged, or threatened. It can happen just as many ways to a man as to a woman. But this stigma is that men will always have sex when the opportunity is presented. I was really young. Stayed at a friend's house. His older sister and her friend got me into her room. Was going to teach me how to kiss. It turned into them using me as an object. I just froze. I was maybe 12? 13. I was so young that girls weren't something I thought of. I like sports and boy stuff. I didn't tell a soul about it until I was in my 20s. They told as many people as would listen. I denied it and didn't let up. I'm sorry that happened. And I'm sorry that there are dumb replies because of a typo. I was working at a diner and the girl left me her number. I texted her and she came over after my shift. I had worked 12 hours and got pretty stoned when I got home, leading to me being too tired to have sex that night. She stayed overnight. And I was woken up the next morning to her writing me. It was a weird feeling to wake up having sex you didn't consent to with someone you don't know. If you feel safe sharing. How are you holding up? Genuinely asking. Doing well, thanks. I had a good friend who was doing a couple of months' time for some driving offenses. He specifically asked me to look out for his GF whilst he was inside. One night she called and asked if I could come pick her up as she was upset. Not a worry. We went and grabbed some food. Went back to my place. Watched a movie. She smoked a bit and I had a few drinks. I made a bed up for her on the couch and went to bed. Woke up with her riding me. I was furious. It was rape. There was zero consent on my behalf. I pushed her off me. The first thing she said was, "Can't wait to tell my friend." That she'd peeped his friend whilst he was in prison. Luckily I told him first, he believed me and kicked her arse to the curb. Everyone thought it was funny as hell, but it wasn't. It made me feel sick and violated. Twisted bitch. Just a weird question. It seems like half of these stories are waking up to it. How does that happen? I wake up if someone downstairs is walking a bit too heavy. How does a 100-something pound person get someone's pants down and get them hard and start bouncing on them before they notice? Just a question. I'm a super light sleeper. Liquor. I'd say. Without liquor I wake up instantly to any texts, phone calls, or someone unlocking my door. With liquor, I've passed out on a floor and had people play cards on me. Or someone unlocking my door. Like a bear? Yes. Definitely like a bear. Obligatory note. This happened to a friend of mine. Not to me. I have a gay friend. He's smart, fun to be with, and would generally be regarded as very good looking. He is also rather small, about 5 feet 4 inches or 5 feet 5 inches. I'd guess. Though I think he wears lifts, so I'm not sure. He's the kind of person with a big personality. So you don't notice his height so much. One thing that it took me a very Very long time to notice is that he is extremely nervous around women. Particularly if they are taller and / or stockier than he is. He's small and slim. I remarked on this to him a couple of times. But he always brushed it off. Eventually, though, he explained that he'd been raped by a woman at a party. He explained that she was taller and heavier than him, and had a similar female friend. Both of them found him attractive. And he implied to me that one of them clearly had a fetish for smaller men. The friend basically held him down in one of the bedrooms upstairs from the party. I think he'd gone upstairs to use the bathroom, while the woman pulled down his pants and raped him. I believe this was oral and vaginal sex. For obvious reasons I didn't ask about the details. I asked him why he hadn't gone to the police. But he explained that he didn't believe that they would help. I have the impression that he had approached the crisis center at his college. But they seem to have brushed it off. I don't know why. From what I can work out, the experience left him badly traumatized. And he continues to be very uncomfortable around women. He doesn't really talk about it though. I only learned about this because I happened to press him on the issue. It does seem a terrible thing to have to endure, though. Unfortunately, a lot of the crisis centers at colleges are of the mindset that men are bad, and that only women can be raped. Now, before someone tries to rip me apart, I did say a lot. Not all. There are definitely exceptions to this. The crisis center of a college is about the same as HR for a company. They are there for the college/boss, not the student/employee. Go to the police. The police don't give a beep about a university's reputation.